The Miami Herald and the Idaho Statesman covered the story of Betsy Winkler. Now, her husband has Alzheimer's, and she's doing her best to take care of him, but she's in a tough situation, so let's watch.
I apologize. I splurged. I stopped at McDonald's, and I got a $1 hamburger and a $1 soda. Oh! You don't go out very often on $30 a month.
According to a study by United Way, more than 1 in 3 Idaho families struggle to afford basic needs.
When his bill goes up, I got to have the money to pay for it.
3.5 years ago, Betsy's husband, David, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Oh, it was rough. The stress was getting to me, and I got sick. We made plans for surgery, and I thought, well, I don't have anybody to watch him. I put him in the home a week before our 31st wedding anniversary.
Without any major income, Betsy had to plan for life ahead.
I spent 6 months slowing down my business and putting that up for sale and preparing for what lied ahead. I'm trying to live on as little as possible.
That includes budgeting herself to $30 a month.
The extra money I can save back to pay for his care. And as he worsens, it will get more.
She manages this by cutting food costs. With the help of a Treasure Valley grocery store, she picks up its recently expired food for free.
No corn today, but lots of mushrooms.
However, she isn't the only one in need of lower food costs. She delivers most of her haul to a local food bank.
There's 215 houses here, and most of them are families.
One of these families is Keith Hartman.
Patty, Ed, Betsy, they do so much to help people. My life is not even as busy as hers, but she spends a lot of time and doing things for other people.
Despite her own situation, Keith said Betsy gives a lot in a subdivision that has very little.
She strikes it off like it's casual, but the things that she does is over and beyond and very helpful.
But between the food bank, visits with David, and caring for her family, Betsy lives unsure of what the future holds.
How long do you plan for? I have to be prepared to cover his bills because nothing's going to stop me from taking care of the man I love. He's the light of my life, and I'll do anything I have to for him.
So she lives on $30 a month, and she eats expired food to try to pay for her husband's care. For a long time, she was able to take care of her husband herself. He had Alzheimer's, has Alzheimer's, and he started out, you know, just like being forgetful, and then it became wandering around inside the house, and then it became like opening the door at 3 a.m. in the morning and wandering around outside, and he would start to get dressed for a job he hadn't had in years at, 3 o'clock in the morning and stuff, and it wasn't possible for her to take care of him anymore, so she needed an assisted living facility. So she put him in an assisted living facility, and Medicaid doesn't cover that. They cover other things that are somewhat similar, but not exactly like an assisted living facility. She makes $50,000 a year between Social Security that he gets, the pension he gets, some money that he gets from being a veteran, and they have various sources of income, her work. But think about that. They make $50,000 a year, which is basically, I think it was the median or the average, probably the median in Idaho. But the cost of care for what he's going through with Alzheimer's and needing to be in an assisted living facility is basically more than that. Costs more than that. So as a result of that, she lives on $30 a month and eats expired food. And she's got nothing. And she's in dire financial straits, trying to make it work. And it's just really difficult. And, you look at this story and you think, come on, why aren't our tax dollars going to help people like this? Like, the cost of him being in an assisted living facility is through the roof and is too much of a burden for her to bear, even with the middle class income. We had all this money, $7 trillion going to Iraq, and we have nothing to show for it. If anything, it made the problem worse. $2 trillion in Afghanistan. We spend $100 billion every year maintaining 900 military bases around the world. $4 billion a year goes to ExxonMobil as a subsidy for research and development. The list goes on and on. $80 billion a year to the big banks. Why? So we give corporate welfare to Wall Street. We give money out the wazoo to the military-industrial complex. And we have people like this who are barely scraping by eating expired food just so that they can take care of their loved one. I want my tax money to go to people like Betsy Winkler. Why wouldn't an assisted living facility be 100% funded by the government? I mean, that's healthcare. That's what that is. Well, you're not technically in the right kind of facility, and the facility is a little more hands-on, the one that you're in, and I don't know, the Medicaid doesn't pick it up, and fucking fix this garbage, man. This is grotesque. Why wouldn't it cover? Why wouldn't this be covered? Cover it. If you poll thousands of people, it's going to come back over 90% of the American people say, yes, I'd like my tax money to go there. Democrat, Republican, Independent, if we're going to have taxes, and we are, and we're going to have a government, we are, well then where are we going to put the money to? I'm telling you, over 90% of people would say, send it there. But no, she lives on $30 a month, eats expired food to try to take care of her husband. It's fucking heartbreaking, man. It really is. This shouldn't be the situation that we're in what's supposed to be the richest country on earth.